What's up, guys? We're back for... I talked really fast.
Yeah.
What's up? We're back for Danmachi Season 3, Episode 3. That's two threes.
Yeah.
Or 3 twos. If you're
Don't confuse me
dyslexic.
now. I'm not.
Anyway.
Because I might be.
So this episode is a continuation of the last one, as all episodes in TV are. But we return to the dungeons and we find the... Xneos is how they pronounce it? Is that correct?
I mean, it's
I'm gonna go with Xneos, yeah. Good news is Leto's name is the same.
Yeah, like, it's weird. It's like in some other anime where they, like, censor it for whatever reason. So, like, the way it's spelled on the screen is different, but, like, the way you hear it, it's the same, yeah, so.
We got that name right. In our never-ending quest to get Danmachi names right.
It's a struggle for a white American out here.
True, fair enough. But yeah, so this episode we got our boy Fells made a larger appearance.
Yes.
We got the guild god talking to Hestia scene, which is very good in the book, and I think it was executed well in the show.
Yeah.
Then we got a fight scene between the Xenos and Belle, as was in the book, and we got kind of an introduction to their society and Belle's decision to partner with them in some way.
Yeah, you get the handshake between them, which you can't deny the local custom. So
Exactly, you can't deny those local customs. So how did you like the episode, Josh, and was there one element missing, and what were some of the highlights of the episode for you?
Yeah, so I'll address the elephant in the room. There is confirmed some cut content. I don't know. They might remix it in a way where we see it later, but I'm really doubting that. So I guess it's safe to say that we are getting a kind of watered down, not as kind of sinister and evil depiction of the Ikelos familia. So that's a little disappointing. But overall, really did like the episode on every other front. I think the voice actors that they got for the Xenos, and as well as Fells has been in here for a little bit, spread throughout, but all of the new talent we got to see, I liked their voices, and I think the way that they're kind of showcasing their characters is really cool. I don't know, for the most part, at least in my mind, everything seemed in tangent with the books, except for maybe the Hestia meeting up with Fells is a little bit different, because I feel like there was a little more to that, and in the show here, it's just like, she like just walks up in the street and he comes out. I thought there was a little bit more to that in the book, but I could be misremembering. But yeah, not much to say. It's again another setup episode, so we're seeing the characters that are going to be important for the later part of the season being introduced, and that's cool to see. I think the only thing that we didn't get addressed this episode that I hope we get addressed in the next episode is the kind of payoff or the touching back of the situation that Belle is having trouble killing or at least fighting with monsters. I think they don't showcase it here in this episode again because they're in circumstances where they kind of have to defend themselves. But in the next episode, I hope that we get a little bit more of that.
Yeah, hopefully we get more Xenos. So, what Josh was referring to as far as cut content is the Ikelos familia. They torture and sell the Xenos into slavery, basically. And in this episode, for anime-only watchers, you just see them killing the Xenos. So there is at least one scene where they're capturing and trying to capture Xenos that we didn't see.
Yeah, I think you got the books, so if you want stuff like a more darker element to it, you could just go read the books. For the show, it does worry me a little bit that Dix and the rest of them are going to come off a little bit more generic than they are in the books, but can't be helped. I just hope that the other conflict between other characters that we already know of is still going to have the same punch that it had in the books.
Yeah, and I think from the opening there's hope there. But talk about some other positive things. We have a conversation between Belle and Ween, which I think this is the first episode you're starting to see Belle's ideology when it comes to Xenos in the world around him starting to develop. So that was good to see. You get to see Fells. Not his true face, but you get to see his skeleton hands.
I do hope that we get, after the mystery of Fells and everything, because it's kind of like, the unveiling. So I hope in the later parts we get to see, Fells up close and personal, as well as the other monsters.
Other things they did amazingly. So far we've talked about the art, the animation being top notch in this third season with new character design.
That bunny is cute.
Bunny is cute. They did a really good job with Leto and then the other Xeno.
Yeah, Ray and I can't remember. They have a name for
Gargoyle.
the red cap.
Yeah, they have a name for Red Cap and then the Gargoyle guy, which we haven't seen yet.
We haven't seen Gross.
Yeah, we haven't seen Gross yet.
I love
But yeah, so I think it'll be interesting if you're an anime only watcher, if you appreciated or understood, what the Xenos did when they were attacking them. As someone who read the books, we kind of knew that scene was going to happen, but it was the fight scene was pretty cool.
I did like it. I think the thing that I knew we were going to get in this episode that I was looking forward to the most was really great. I was waiting for Leto to call Bell by his nickname, and we did get it there. So,
it was cute. The voice actor for Leto is really great. We'll have to do more information on who it is, but
yeah, so far I think the pacing's been holding up really well, even though they have cut a few content, which I don't understand really why they've cut a couple things, just because I don't think they would have taken that long to just put in the episode. But for the most part, I think the pacing's still doing really well. This is episode 3, so episode 4, I think we said this was quarter of the way through. So I'm hoping that, we're going to get at least a couple more episodes before the main conflict, so that we can really kind of build up and showcase just how nice these monsters are before we get into the main conflict. But I do like the, obviously showing the scenes that are still important to tie in and make the story kind of cohesive, whereas, they have to go to the guild and, these new characters like the guild god, Oranos, and Fells, they don't know Hestia Familia at this point. They've never seen them before even. So explaining, how they've set up that meeting and everything like that, I think is important. So I like, even though the guild characters are not necessarily the most important, I do like that. I don't think we got into a bit more of how the Xenos come to be, even though Oranos does know that information, but we might get that in the next couple episodes. So it'd be interesting to see if what all they're going to cover or possibly change.
Yeah, and again, we'll see if they stop at the end of 10 or the end of 11. Maybe 10 will be the mid-season finale. We'll have to see. The end of book 10 will be the mid-season finale. We'll see. But the other... Yeah, hopefully. Something will happen, though, before we have to wait another week. Anyway, So another thing that was good is seeing Belle get a mission from the guild. That's kind of something that was a big deal in the book. They got their first guild mission. And even got to see in that scene that he realized how much responsibility is on his shoulders even now. And I think he's realizing it more and more as the series progresses. So I'm excited to see how that pulls off. So far, the presentation and descriptions and just how the characters worked in the Familia pretty much has been spot on for the book. Belle and the whole Familia. There's several touching scenes in there, especially with Hirohime in this episode, where she talks about how she was just like Ween, so telling Belle to not regret the right thing, him making the right decision to save people. So,
and it's also, I guess, in the book, it is one that sticks out in our mind. But obviously, since we're watching the show now, it's a smaller thing, but it's probably big for a lot of the anime watchers only. But this is the first time that we truly see level boost being used in the dungeon, and the possibility of what that means for them going deeper in the dungeon, the new kind of enemies and archetypes they might find in there. It's really exciting in that regard as well. But I do love the attention to detail, as in the books, Welf does make magic swords, and he doesn't just make magic swords for himself, but he makes it also for the the less capable combatants of their Familia, so like Lily and Hirohime. So seeing even a scene where Lily uses the magic daggers that he makes for her in the books, it's cool that even though we're not touching on that information specifically in the show, that it's still there. So people that do read the books have that other appreciation.
And there's always a worry with action scenes that there could be too much CGI, or they wouldn't just take the effort to put in the effort to make the action scenes look good and like a realistic kind of feel to them. But so far in this episode, it looked, both the mini scene where they're progressing through the dungeon and then the other scene where they're facing off the Xenos, both of them I think were done very well. And there was definitely tension, especially in that later scene, not knowing what was going to happen.
Oh yeah, Yeah. I love the first introduction of the Xenos. It gives them like a false, or I guess there's possible red herring there. The only other thing that I'll really say is that just judging that this is the first episode in the dungeon, I would assume we're going to have at least one more, maybe two
hangouty episodes
in the dungeon, before they get back up. There's probably going to be some conflicts still to come, unless they change some things. But I'm looking forward to being in the dungeon because it feels like it's been a while since they've been in the dungeon. Maybe it's just because the shows just feels like it just came back, which I guess technically it has. But any final thoughts you want to say about this episode, Michael? Or going into the next episode?
Sure, I'm excited for the next episode. So far, the introduction of the Xenos is going well. Hopefully, we'll still get to see the major plot points done well, which I have faith because they've done the Xenos well. And I'm excited for the next episode and excited to see some cute moments between Leto and Belle and just them being more friendly.
Yeah, all of that's going to be really cool to see, especially, just this whole arc coming to life.
We saw the tail slide for the first time in this episode, too.
I can't wait until we get a little bit tease of the main Xeno. That's going to be super hype at the end of the... but I don't know. That's just like one that's going to be super cool. But we'll get out of here. There's not much more to say. Although the episode was 22 minutes, it went by pretty fast. So, we'll be here for the next one. So you can go check it out then. So
it's the year of Danmachi, I feel like.
Yeah, the books are coming out soon. I guess, what is it? Freya comes out October 27th, and then I think Volume 15 is still scheduled for 17th of November, unless it gets pushed back, so fingers crossed those dates hold up. But we will be back for those as well. If you are book readers, come check out that, because we have a lot of fun with those. Yep.
All right. Later, Addicts.
Peace.